Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. In this video, I'm doing a painting demo where I show one way to create a mesmerizing geometric abstract painting. I was inspired to try this type of design after watching Robert Burridge's Bob Blast video about checkerboard painting compositions. So credit where credit is due. Thanks Bob for the inspiration and a great video. I'll put the link in the description for Bob's video and I highly recommend giving it a watch. I've done several of these paintings this week, and I'll show you the final version of this painting as well as a few others at the end of the video. You might have noticed at the beginning of the video that I sprayed a little water on my paper. It was so hot and dry when I painted this, I sprayed my paper a little bit to help keep the paint from drying so quickly and help the paint flow a little easier on the paper. I had to keep spraying my palette to keep the paint from drying out as I was painting. So this particular painting is kind of a geometric abstract landscape. I'm starting with a somewhat random and colorful background. I made some marks by scratching into the paint with a palette knife, some marks with wax pastels. I pressed the paint with bubble wrap, and I used a piece of plastic mesh that I found as a stencil. And several areas of this background will show through in the final piece. And you know how many times when you're painting, there's that stage early on that feels a little discouraging because the painting looks bad or doesn't feel like it's working. What a lot of artists call the ugly stage. This painting was not a stranger to that stage in the least bit. But I hung in there and liked how it turned out. But it was close to the end when I felt like it started taking shape. So bear with me on this one. I just had to trust myself, which isn't always easy when things aren't looking good. So I used a pencil to create a rough and uneven grid on a portion of the surface, and now I'm using some yellow frog tape to kind of block off some of those geometric shapes that I created with the pencil and doing that grid. Now, yellow frog tape, there's several kinds of frog tape. The yellow frog tape is the delicate surface, so it's very easy to put that on paint, acrylic paint, and even sometimes when it's wet, still a little wet, not really wet. So, but you can put it on and it will most of the time not pull the paint off. But I wanted to show you one that's not sped up too much, just kind of doing this, taping off these areas and then putting in different colors of paint. And right now I'm looking at this thinking, I remember at this point going, oh gosh, I'm not sure this kind of pink color is going to work out with this. Looking at the background and that green, I just wasn't feeling too confident about that. But I thought, well, I'll just keep going. And the more colors I started adding at the beginning, the more I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure this is going to work out. So, but again, you just have to keep going forward and see where this takes you. Yeah, I can always pivot at some point if I need to. But I'll speed this up a little bit more so you're not watching me just put a bunch of tape down in real time and peeling it back off. But I will show you this and speed this up a little bit. But this frog tape is great. I actually had a lot of fun using this. So in Bob's video, he talks about alternating between dark shapes and light shapes to create that checkerboard composition. But I chose a different path in this one and decided to play more with the colors as opposed to darks and lights. A couple of the other geometric paintings I'll show you at the end were done with alternating dark and light colors, so they definitely have more of a checkerboard color, checkerboard kind of feel and composition to it. And there's still probably some cleanup work that I could do with this one in the end, kind of cleaning up some of the lines and whatnot. But I created a background. I wanted some of the character of that background to show through in some of this. So I'll leave a couple of these. Actually, I think I might just I'll leave a couple of these where I don't paint over top of the background. I'll let those be that geometric portion of that area, and that texture that is left over from that background, or created when I did that background. So let me know in the comments if you've done any work like this. This is really, I think, the first time I've done something like this and really kind of broken it down into these shapes and tried to kind of keep a composition like this. And I got to tell you, it's kind of addicting. It's very engaging when you're doing this, and almost meditative. I have mesmerizing in the title. You become mesmerized when you're doing it. I kind of lost track of time when I was doing this, and was just having so much fun. And I do lightly use an X-Acto knife in some areas to take care of some of the curves in the shapes that I made. So if you do that, be careful. I usually paint so fast that I had to remember that I had a knife in my hand a lot of the time. Also dropped off some pieces at a gallery today for a pretty cool exhibit. I really like the idea of this. It's called the Anonymous exhibit. So all of the pieces are 10 by 10 inch. All of them are $300. I think there's a total of maybe 240 pieces, but you don't know who created any of the pieces. So you're buying something without knowing who it is, and you will find out once you take the piece home. But I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to go on and see if you can figure out which two pieces are mine. So some of you that have watched my videos a lot might be able to pick those out. But I thought that would be a fun challenge to see if you can figure out which two are mine. And somebody had left me a comment on Instagram on one of the posts when I posted one of these pieces, and said it reminded her of jogakbo, which is a style of patchwork, Korean patchwork, that's traditionally used for wrapping cloths, and it's made from scraps of leftover fabric. But I'd never heard of that before, and looked it up, and there's just some amazing and really beautiful pieces. So I definitely recommend looking up that art form. I was blown away with some of the pieces that I saw in there. So I show you the final pieces. I'll show you a few close-ups here of this, so you can kind of see how some of that texture from the underpainting is showing through, or where I used bubble wrap and a palette knife. But I'll show you the final piece here, and a few of the other pieces that I did. So thanks for watching, and give this a try. Give Bob's video a watch, and keep on painting.